Miss Shelley. Hello, Miss Carol. I am here, and I'm glad you guys are patiently waiting. You're going to have to bear with me today. Whew. Today's not such a good day, but I don't just sit in a corner and wallow. But we went out and checked out a job yesterday to bid and for our construction side of things. And I didn't really think about it, but we were in a space that was being dug up a little bit, and I was frozen, and it was dang cold yesterday, but I didn't pick up on the signs, and I wish I would have, because I could have headed this off, but I was frozen. I mean, like frozen to the point that I couldn't warm up, and my body started hurting and my arms started hurting, and that should have been another telltale sign. I was exposed to mold. And when I'm exposed to mold, my thermostat breaks. I just get excessively cold to the point that no matter what I do, I can't warm up. I mean, we even got showers last night and I just could not warm up. And my arms were because my lymphatic system was clogging on me. So today, I feel like somebody's behind my eyes and just squeezing my eyeballs out. And I think I even mentioned it the other day that I have a spot here that would indent. It's indented today. I have excessive head pain, so that's why I didn't Zoom today. It just would have been too much to try to comprehend today. So bear with me. You're probably going to have to fill in the blanks for my words, and I'm probably going to be slow here, but I wanted to do this anyway. Had some good things to talk about. God was leading me. I'll feel better when I'm sitting down and my head's not rattling as I'm standing here, but I wanted to show you guys this while I have things going on. So if you could please keep me in your prayers, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm hoping that when I retrain my brain in a couple weeks, that I can avoid this and get rid of this hypersensitivity that I have to mold. It's because my body was internally riddled with mold and fungus and biotoxins and bacteria from the breast implants that this happens to me. But I'm doing a breast implant illness mini-series, and until I'm done talking about that, there's no sense trying to do a brain retraining, because when I talk about it, it keeps me on that negative path in my brain. It takes me back to that place. So that's hence why I'm doing the mini-series, so I don't have to talk about it any more moving forward. I can just send people to my videos. But anyway, I see you guys are commenting, so let me just see here. Good morning, Miss Tammy. Oh, thank you, Carol. I think you guys were saying you were patiently waiting, and I am so thankful. I'm okay. I've got a lot of head pain. Hello, Miss Toika. The T family, I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, I just wish I would have figured it out sooner. It was kind of like a duh moment this morning when I woke up and I couldn't like open my eyes because it hurt so much. But it's just been a while since I've been affected by mold. I have other issues that pop up, but the mold, I stay clear of it intentionally for that reason, but it just was one of those things. Thank you, Carol. She says, sending you giant hugs and lots of love. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, Miss Rhonda. So let me just see if there's anybody trying to get in Zoom, because I did put a post out, but just in the event that people didn't see it. Let me just make sure. Woo. No, it's not looking like it, so good deal. Okay. And I'm not sure, I want to give you guys a heads up. I don't think that I'm going to do Zoom next week either, because next week we are going to talk about food preparation and food preparedness. So I want you to go to our community page and into our resource section and download all of the preparedness worksheets and the food storage worksheets, because we're going to go hot and heavy into that stuff next week, and I'm going to be standing in front of my shelves the whole time, so Zoom is going to be kind of hard to do. But we're going to talk about food preparedness. So that'll be next week. But this week, I thought I would share with you, and Shelley, this is for you too, especially. But I wanted to talk about sourdough and share with you the benefits of sourdough and the ease of sourdough, and also the loaf of bread that I made. Oh, and I want to put this out there. I had a tremendous blonde moment. Actually, it wasn't really a blonde moment. I just didn't realize that what I was doing was actually completely removing them. I have a friend who used to download our videos so that she could watch them later, and then she would delete them as she would watch them, but she would download them from YouTube because of her bandwidth on her internet in the evening dropped so bad. So I'm just going to put this out there. If any of you watching this now or watching the replay happens to download our videos, would you please reach out to me at survive@trayerwilderness.com, because it was still uploading the HD portion of the video on my phone, and it was taking up a lot of my resources, and the videos were already in place. You guys were already commenting. So I was canceling the upload of the HD video. However, it deleted 9 of my videos off of our channel, and I'm so bummed. So I just want to put that out there. My bad, my error. I know what they were. I was able to go back and figure out what they were. But that's the disadvantage of doing live video, is you've got to go back and you've got to download them onto your laptop in order to have a copy of them. It doesn't save it on my phone, and it's not something that I'm uploading that I already had recorded. So, and I hadn't gotten that far yet. So just putting that out there. It was my bad, and if not, we'll just re-record them. But there was a lot of good stuff on those videos. So anyway, so Shelly, this is for you. This right here is an awesome company, and they don't just do gluten-free, but I'm sharing this with Shelly because Shelly's in the same boat I am, with great sensitivities to food as well as the need for gluten-free. So this is an awesome, I've been using this bread for a while, and I've been using my own recipe with it, but I use their recipe on the back, and I'm gonna share that with you guys. That's backwards, so you're not gonna be able to see it anyway. Is it looking backwards to you, or is it just backwards to me? I'm curious. Let me know that, please. But Shelly, I'll read off the ingredients since it's appearing to be backwards. It's sorghum flour, whole grain teff flour, whole grain brown top millet flour, organic brown rice flour, xanthan gum, and taro gum. And the recipe is, this is actually, it's using warm milk. So you have warm milk, you have 3 eggs, melted butter, a little bit of sugar, your yeast, and your flour, and some salt. It's a very simple recipe. It's very dense, and it's a little bit drier than what I'm used to with the gluten-free breads, but it's really, really awesome. So I am like hooked now to their recipe on the back of here. But hopefully, Shelly, you can use this also. And gluten-free flour is spendy. This stuff is spendy, but it's a nice treat. I bought it by the case because I could get it through Azure. And I think that's where I got it. I have to look back. But you can also buy off their website. I think it's just jovial.com. But definitely look it up. I also use their einkorn berries, their einkorn flour. It's really, really awesome, awesome ancient grains. And it's all organic, and it's a home-based business, or at least that's how it started. And I like supporting that, but I also like going for the rich grains, and of course the ancient grains are going to be better for your stomach. Now, I share that because using sourdough eliminates a lot of gut issues as well. And when an einkorn flour, einkorn berries are not gluten-free, they're lower in gluten. So that's another plus, is that they are already lower in gluten. And when you mill your own berries, you're not processing it like it would be processed. So there is less gluten in your flour when you're milling it yourself. So keep that in mind also. But when you add sourdough to things, it helps to break down those glutens and enables you to digest your food so much better. Now, this is a one of the, gosh, like I said, my brain's going to be really bad today, and I know it. This is what I had scooped out, and as I was feeding my sourdough, and you can see how bubbly it is. It's amazing. And I'm going to give you some tips on doing gluten-free, because gluten-free flours absorb moisture so much faster than regular flours. So when I follow anybody else's gluten-free sourdough directions, I don't like how it turns out. So I've created my own, and I'm going to share that with you. And it's because of that it's absorbing the moisture and it gets too thick, almost like a paste. I want it to be really, really fluffy, and I want it to have all those good bubbles in there. So I'm going to show you what I do. And I am using the Jovial to do this. And I'm also going to show you what I do with my excess if I don't jar it, so that I can use it whenever I want to, because I am getting back into making our sourdough loaf. Things were just a little too crazy to keep trying to keep up with that. So I just put my sourdough on hold. And because I didn't get to it fast enough, it molded in my refrigerator. So this is the jar I prefer to use when I am making my sourdough. This is a unbleached coffee filter with a rubber band around it. And you can see it's nice and bubbled up here. The other day it was bubbling right out of my jar, out of the filter. Sitting right here by the wood stove is like the perfect space. So this enables me to easily close it up and stick it in the fridge. So it's a useful container. I like this size because the bigger ones, the taller ones, are harder to get in and mix. It gets all over the sides. It does on this one too, but it just looks nastier on the taller jar. I guess I do have a little OCD. Just a little. Anyway, so this is the sourdough that I've got going on right now that needs fed. Now I see a lot of comments, so I'm gonna jump on here first. Ooh, my melon is throbbing. Okay, let me see here. Let me see. So we got Rhonda on here, and I said hello to Miss Rhonda. Everybody's welcoming Rhonda. I love you all. You love on each other so well. Toika says, we'll be praying for sure. We'll try to fill in words as best I can, but fibro fog is having its way the last few days. But I do know the word trivet. Me too. That one's stuck. If you need it, I got it. Thank you. I love you. Praying for you too. I know that foggy place. It's not a fun place to be. I'm kind of there myself today. So just different circumstances. Okay, so it is backwards. Thank you, thank you. All right, let me see here. That was Rhonda sharing that. Okay, Deb says, howdy, Tam and all, back home and at work listening. Denver plane trip was canceled last minute. Huh. All right, let me see here. We got lots of nasty cold weather and snow coming. Everybody's welcoming and saying hello to everybody. Thank you. I will look that up. Shelly says, yes, Shelly, you'll really like this bread. I really, really like it. Agreed. Rhonda says, sorry to hear the cancellation, but happy to hear you're home safe, Deb. All is good and works out for the best. It always does. Always does. Carol says, I had a surprise for you today, but we're not on Zoom, so I can't show you. Ah, bummer. Well, we'll have to figure a way out to do that. And maybe I'll jump on for a little bit next week and then go to, I don't know how I'm going to do that. We'll have to figure it out. My brain ain't functioning and processing all this today. Hello, Jane. Good morning. All right. So how many of you use sourdough? I know Miss Tammy does. I think Deb does. I know Kelly does. Sourdough is great, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. Oh, I would have loved to love up on that little boy's pudgy cheeks. Carol says she has Lorenzo today. Oh, darn. He is a cutie. Him and Bridger and Tristan. I love seeing these kids on here, and I don't see Nicole. Okay, here. Let me see here. Who is T. Williams? T. Williams is joining us today. Share with us where you are joining us from and what does T stand for? It's the other Tammy in the house, maybe. You're going to have to all bear with me today. I really... Ooh. Anyway, I'm going to show you this quick here. Maybe I'm getting stuck on the cabinet. Okay. Oh, it's Toika, for gosh sakes. Okay, you're throwing me off, girl. You're messing with me. Well, weren't you just on in your, yeah, you're in your orange tea. Okay, so Toika's playing with my head this morning. She's on the computer instead of the iPhone. All right, well, thank you. You'll keep my brain fresh. Thank you for challenging me. Just be ready for the fill in the blanks. Okay, so here we go. All right. I've got a pizza pan, and I've got my, I'm going to flip that over so it doesn't roll on me. That is my non-bleached parchment paper. This is the brand I use. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's called If You Care. Twika says not on purpose. That's okay. And Carol says, we'll keep you on your toes, Tammy. Thank you. Yes, please do that. Fill in the blanks. Keep me going here because I wanted to do this. There's some good stuff to share. Okay, so I'm going to take the excess of my sourdough and I am going to spread it on this parchment paper. I'm going to season it and I'm going to put it in the oven and make crackers. It is really, really wonderful. Now I'm going to try something and set you guys. Hang on a second here. This is going to be interesting. I have a new tripod. I forgot I had this one. This one is for special projects. Such as this. But let me, I'm gonna, you can't help me with this one. All right, hopefully this will be the right height. Yeah, I think it will be. Okay, you don't need to see me, you just need to see what I'm doing. Get the apron out of the way, spin that a little bit. Okay, so here we go. And then I'm gonna show you how I do this. This one's being saved for the bread. This, we're gonna take, and I like to use this bamboo Pampered Chef spoon. These are great. And I am just going to pull this out. Oh, I wish you guys could see this. I'm going to try and show you. Oh, see how bubbly and how, that just looks wonderful. That's good stuff right there. Okay, hopefully you saw that. Here we go again. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to spread it on here. Instead of, some people give it to their chickens. Some people just put it in their composting pile. Some people use it for bread. Some people use it for different things. If you use it for different things, share what you use it for in the comments. Also on the replay, please. Because it's always nice to know how people are using this. But I prefer to eat it. I don't want to discard it for sure. And I don't want to, I don't have any chickens to give it to. If my dogs have an upset stomach, maybe I'll mix it in with something. And I do want to get back into making them dog biscuits, so I might consider doing that from time to time and making them dog biscuits with it. So now I'm just going to spread it out good on here because my cracker recipe in my cookbook, it's basically the same thing depending on which recipe you use. Gluten-free, you just kind of smear it on and you can either break them into pieces or part way through the process, you can pull them out of the oven and cut them up. But these turned out really nice and they don't last long. These don't even make a container. We sit and nibble on them while we're watching stuff and chilling at night. So it's just a good snack. All right, so now I'm going to get... This is really funny. I don't know what you guys call this, but this is my, I need to fill it, but it's my Himalayan salt in the grinder. I call it the squishy salt, but the Mountain Boy has gone up to college and they call it the grindy salt. So you might call it something else. We're just weird. We name everything. So got my salt on there. Notice I put lots on because I love salt. Here's a little bit of garlic. Put a little bit of garlic on here, like such. I'm gonna have to put a piece of wood in the fire, I believe. Here's even a little bit of pepper. You know, you can put on whatever you feel like. There's basil, there's cilantro, there's all kinds of oregano. You can put all kinds of different spices on it. I'm gonna put a little bit of onion salt on here. This is kind of gonna be like that, the bagels. What is it, the everything bagels? I know that's not right. You guys can fill in the blanks. I'm going to stick this in the oven, but here you go. You can see they're spread on there real good. And you know what? I think, well, I'm going to leave it go. I'm going to stick this in the oven real quick. I'll be right back. And I'm going to put a whoop. Yeah, dog. There was a dog. All right, that's in the oven. let me put a slab of wood in. Oh, yep, good idea, because it's almost out. Let's see if I can get that going. Okay, so now I'm back. Okay, I'm going to show you this now. Whew! All right, now this is what I use to start my sourdough. All I use to start it is a 1/4 cup measuring cup, and then I feed it the same way. So this is how I would start it and let it set, and then this is how I feed it. So I put a 1/4 cup in, filled to the top, and I just try to be careful that it doesn't go flying all over and get excessive. So, all right, there we go. So we're going to put that in there, and then most starters call for 1/4 of the flour and 1/4 of water. There's my 1/4 of water. But because it is gluten-free flour and it's going to absorb my moisture, I do a half a cup. So I have actually put in there 3/4 of water. And just stir that up good, and that will do it. So to start, if you've never done sourdough before, get a jar, put a half a cup of flour in it, 3/4 of a cup of water, stir it up good, break up your lumps. And one of the nice things about this, these spoons, is they clean off really nicely. And you don't want to use metals with your sourdoughs. It just, chemical reaction there, it doesn't serve it well. So don't use metals, use glass, and use wooden spoon. Like I said, I like to use the bamboo. That cleans up nice. There it is. That's done. And I have filled my starter and fed my starter. So my starter is fed. So now I like to put the coffee filter on top so that nothing gets in it, and also so that it can't get out, so that it runs down the side of the container instead of exploding, because it gets hot in this corner with the wood stove at night, and that was why it was cooking so good. But the consistency is so much better when you add just a little bit more water to it. So there is my starter. This is my previous starter that I'm going to use for bread, and I think I'm going to put that back in the fridge because I don't feel up to making that today. So that'll be a tomorrow project. Now let me put this up here, and I'm going to set things up over here across the room, and we'll move. So if you have sourdough questions, put them in the comments, and I will be right there. Woo. Look out, old boy. All right, coming to fetch you guys. Okay, here we go. So it's that simple, and you don't have to waste that. You don't have to throw it away if you're not ready to use it. You don't have to jar, you can jar it if you don't have time to use it, and then you can make crackers or whatever you want later. So it's a real nice way to do it, and the crackers, we love crackers. Homemade crackers, oh my goodness, they're so good. Okay. Let's see, I don't know what my battery is like. We'll just have to see. All right. Thank you for bearing with me today. Let's see here. Oh, yum. Okay, hang on a second here. Toyka says, I've never tried sourdough, don't care for the flavor, except now I need it for my gut health. Well, and the flavor gets more rich as it sits. So The trick would be to use it right away, from your, when you're feeding it, use it right away. It wouldn't be as robust, but it's still going to help your gut. And I think you'll really feel the difference in it, and see the difference in your gut health for sure. Nothing better than a natural probiotic. Okay, so now, so you never heard of sourdough before, Carol? That's interesting. Love the everything bagels. Yeah, the Mountain Man does too. Now, this is the part I saw. Jane says sesame seeds, sea salt, flakes, dried minced garlic, dried minced onions, black sesame seeds, poppy seeds. There you go. I've got all those. I should have pulled them out. That'll be the next batch. Thank you, Janie. And I hope you don't mind I call you that, but my best friend back home was Jane, but her nickname was Janie. Miss her dearly. And I can't help but think of her when you're on here and chatting with me. So, yummy, 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 they say. Yes, Toika's yummying Jane's additions. That would have definitely added to it. Shelly says, how long do you let it sit out when you are first starting the starter? Because my house is so hot, typically it's 12 to 24 hours. But I'll do mine in the afternoon, and by morning it's like bubbling over out of the jar at times because of my heat at night. So the heat is what enables it to grow and to process. So 12 to 24 hours is a good time frame. And when you're making breads too, like the crackers they're going to have a tart taste to them. Hi, Mrs. Bread, you will still taste it. I really like our bread recipe that we make. It is sorghum flour and brown rice flour, and very similar to the combination of the jovial bread flour. But when you add the sourdough, it kind of gets a taste to it similar to like a rye or a pumpernickel. It has that more robust. I love it. It's really, really good. I wish you guys could come taste test it. You'll just have to come taste test it. So let me see here. I think I saw Terry's on here too. Oh, wait. Went too far. Okay. Terry says, just returned from the car dealership. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm enjoying the snow here in upstate New York. Yes, we are enjoying our snow too. Guys, we got out on our snowshoes the other evening. I had a blast. The Mountain Man, not so much. His hips were sore and his back from lifting throughout the day. And we did our fire. I'll share pictures in the community then. Oh my gosh. That was so renewing and so much fun. That's the other reason it should have clued me in yesterday when I was so cold. It was cold yesterday, but it was just my body. I should have picked up on it because I was just so intensely cold. We were out snowshoeing at night and standing by a fire. And yeah, there's heat from the fire, but it was still cold out and I just wasn't cold. So just weird stuff, but that was so much fun. Make sure you take time to do the things you like to do. Terry, welcome, and I'm glad you're enjoying your snow. Deb says, love my sourdough starter. Make pancakes the most with it. A variety of, let me see. Yes, I like making the pancakes with it too. They're so good. Shelly said we had a little snow yesterday and are expecting a lot of snow Saturday. Yeah, we are too, and Saturday's our coldest. I think it's like 4 degrees. I know that Montana, Kelly had like negative 13 or 16 the other day. And I know Tammy's been getting the nasty negative temperatures. Jane says that's right off the Trader Joe's bottle. Oh, well, you have like an everything seasoning mix. That's awesome. And there you go, guys. You can make your Trader Joe's variety of your everything mix. We make our own seasoned salt and our chili powder and different things. So you can definitely blend those, especially when you have nice spice jars like I have that you can just blend together in them. Toika says that would be the place to start then. Less time in the jar. Yes. Yeah. Deb says sometimes it is the pH in our systems making these things tasting undesirable, possibly. Very true as well. And you can test that and you can adjust your pH levels in your system real well too. That might be we'll do that on another day. That's a good topic because our gut health affects everything. Terry says he loves sourdough bread. Awesome. Yes, me too. We just love bread. Let me see here. Toika says that could be Deb. I don't care for fermented foods at all. I am now 58. Time for my taste buds to change and be healthy. Well, there you go. Hey, it's never too late to start. Never too late to get our gut health right. How much snow is here? Mom had a lot in council. I bet she did. We have about 6-8 inches of snow. It was flurrying when we woke up. I'll see if you can see it. It's snowing on the mountain right now. That's the awesome. Oh, you can't. It's too bright. Yeah, maybe you can now. It's snowing over there on the mountain, though. It's really awesome. You can see the snow up there, which is good. That's where we want it more than anything, is up on the mountain so that it sticks and that we have good protection this summer. I don't know. But we have more snow in the forecast. Lots of cold temps. And we're all hooked up. We got our water the other day. That video was one of the ones I deleted. Anyway, our hustle to get our water in. But Tammy shared this morning, and this is a good, that's why I did the topic I did today. Preparing ahead. You know, you saw us preparing earlier this week, getting all of our water in so that we had shower water, and we did our wash the day we were getting the water, because as the cold temps move in, we may not be able to get water for a while. So that was a concern, and that's something that we just, we're constantly looking forward. So that's just something that we're accustomed to doing. Same with foods, some people wait till the last minute of the day to decide what they're going to eat for supper, where I've already got that planned a day ahead of time. We did a neck roast on the cook stove 2 days ago, and we had 2 meals off of it. And then last night I cooked the meat off the bones and we had soup with it. So, when you plan ahead, especially when you're busy, it makes things really nice. Right now I've got burger thawing, and if I have the energy, we'll have hamburgers for supper tonight with our homemade breads. But planning ahead, not just with our food in this regard of eating, but planning ahead for our food preparation, which we will talk about next week wholeheartedly. So make sure you go to the community page, trayerwilderness.com/community. And there you will have, when you log into the dashboard, you'll have 2 options, the community resources and the community. The community is like a Facebook group, and the community resources is just that. It's a variety of different resources available to you, and there are printable preparedness worksheets as well as food preparedness worksheets in there. So print those out because we're going to talk about it. But Tammy posted this morning in the community page that they had a plan ahead for their water because of the layout of their home. Their water pipes are accessible to the cold. So she put heat tape, I think is what she said she uses on the pipes, and they have a heater they run under the house to try to keep things thawed and from freezing. So when you have these cold temps, you have lots of snow coming, like, for example, just a level of preparedness. When we know there's snow coming, the mountain man pulls his windshield wiper blades off the windshield so that it's easy to clean the truck off and they don't freeze fast, and we can easily clean that off. There's a lot of preparation that goes on here. We cover the four-wheeler with, it's okay, it's Papa. You may as well say your hellos. Miss Carol's on here, but you're going to have to scrooge down. You can see your body, but not your head. There you go.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing? Are you popping in to get warm, or?
No, I need to look something up on the interweb.
I see. Okay, well, then I'm going to spin it back this way. All right. Whoa, bed. Whoa. Whoa. Mrs. is going under the table and spilling my drink. Carol says, yay, mountain man. Deb says, howdy, Glenn. Let me see here what's going on. Yeah, Tammy says, we were negative 19 this morning. Supposed to be colder tomorrow morning. Wow. Yeah, that's getting cold. And Terry's saying hello to everybody. 16, but the winds are howling now. Yeah, it's chilly. It's cold. I want to get out just to see if it'll like open up my head a little bit. If anything, it'll just freeze the brain, which will be okay too. Shelly says yesterday was, what's the matter?
There's my woman.
Here, watch. No, show it again. That's really funny. I don't know if you heard him. He said, there's his woman. He's going on to YouTube and I popped up. Yeah? Hi, love. Oh, you're venturing. I did. Okay, let me switch it back. I'll switch it back.
Don't tell anybody. That's my secret lover.
That's your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
I see. Mm-hmm. She's cute, ain't she?
Yeah.
Oh, good night. We're in the woods too long sometimes, I think. All right, let me see here. Shelly says, yesterday was chicken stew and gluten-free dumplings type of day. Yeah, those cold days call for that kind of good stuff. That was yummy. Yeah, we had rice. What was it? Elk rice stew last night. It was really good. Jane says, I have to plan. Roasted a big chicken Monday last night. Was pot pie from it. Yum. Yep, exactly. It's nice to be able to plan ahead so you're not scurrying. Jane says, yummo, Shelly. And Carol says, sounds yummy to Jane. Shelly says, it was so good. Leftovers tonight. Yep. Can't go wrong there. You can't go wrong. Shelly says, hello to you, my dear. And Jane says, love leftover nights. Yes, I made them lasagna the other day, and that's always good the second time around. It has better flavor. Terry says, have to go. Everyone have a wonderful and blessed day. See you, Terry. Love you, brother.
Terry.
Praying for you. Keep your chin up. Keep looking up. Jane says, I clean the fridge and make 3 egg quiches. Quick, easy, and delish. Yum. Yeah, I'm a quiche girl, too. He's not so much because it's just not enough food for him. Not enough. Carol says, lol, you too. Yes. Carol says, here we have beef, pork, chicken, lamb. All the stuff you guys say you're cooking or eating, I have no idea. All right. Well, elk is our
Stag.
main...
Maybe over there they call it a stag.
Oh, maybe.
Or something.
Maybe. And then our venison, white-tailed deer, is the deer. Or what?
Or mule deer.
Mule deer, yeah. But you've got the good stuff too, though, Carol. And trust me, we like pork and we like beef and we like chicken. I think I've only ever had lamb once. What?
Bacon.
Oh, bacon, yes, yummy, chewy bacon. But we want to grow our own. I mean, around here, there's nowhere to buy it other than the grocery store, and I'm not buying pink slime. I can't. I'd be worse than this if I was eating that stuff. So, so the health food stores do have really good ham and bacon, and those are treats that we get periodically. And I haven't found a good source for chicken yet, organic chicken, other than the ones we grew ourselves. See you. Are you waving goodbye? Here, I'll flip it.
Goodbye. So long. Farewell. 82.
Oh, good night. What a bunch we are. Jane, that would be it too. Jane says her hubby eats half the quiche. That's his portion. Yeah, the mountain man would need, like, it's so funny to eat something like that. And I know it's eggs, it's protein and all that, but he would walk away from that and like 20 minutes, half an hour, be starving. He just has such a killer metabolism, I guess, and needs that protein. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, and I eat like a bird, so, and I'm perfectly content. There are times I chow, but it's a lot rare. I mean, his breakfast would be my whole day's worth of food and then some. Jane says lamb is very expensive. Yes, a friend of mine does a lot of lamb, and that can be purchased at the health food store. But again, our goal is to be able to grow what we want to eat, just because then we know what it's been fed and where it's coming from. Carol says, it makes me mad when people say eat healthy, so you go shop to eat healthier and it costs double or triple the price. And it does. This is my perspective on it, especially after my health situation. Plus, the Mountain Boy has been on a gluten-free and a dairy-free diet since he was 9. And again, that's expensive, especially back then when we were, I mean, I was pioneering that whole venue because there was hardly anything available. That's why I started ending up milling our own flours and messing around to perfect gluten-free recipes because there was little to be known about it at that time. So it is expensive, but for our situation and our circumstances, the other was, it was like detrimental to our health. For the mountain boy, if he had dairy, and I know this is kind of a TMI, but it would cause his bowels to shut down. So the sensation of a bowel movement was gone. And when we got out here, we had gone and he had done a colonic. And the fellow that did the colonic said that his bowel muscles were that of an 80-year-old's. And that was because while we were trying to do a gluten-free and a dairy-free diet, out of spite, his biological father was poisoning him every time he had him. So that's a whole other subject. But it was detrimental to his health, and it was terrible. And for me, the same is true. So this is how we look at it. We don't go to the doctor. We haven't had to go to the doctor, praise God, for, more than maybe 3 times in 11 years that we're out here, with the exception of my surgery. And that is huge savings. So you have to weigh it and look at it on the scale of what you're doing for yourself as you are eating a healthier diet, even though it costs more money. And the thing is too, though, for us, we buy in bulk. So even though it's more costly, when we buy in bulk, it's not near as costly. And the other thing was too, instead of buying milk of different varieties for the mountain boy, we got goats. And yes, we had to feed them, so that was costly. But we had our own milk, and we could make our own cheese and so forth. So yes, it is more expensive, but it is, for one, life-changing. You will sleep better. You will have less inflammation in your body. You will lose weight. You will have less aches and pains. You will live longer, and you will be so much healthier, feel so much better. And there is definitely, I mean, the only con I see is the cost, but I've learned to look past the cost and view it as an investment for my health and my life and my family's, because we are so much healthier and so much better off. It was amazing when we were building and we were really pushing hard and we were eating, as healthy as we do, how fast we built lean muscle. It was pretty cool. I was pretty excited about that. So I've got a lot more of that in my future. But it is definitely an investment, and it's an investment in our health. And when you learn, there are places you can get things less expensive. What you need to do is really price around and find things and look online and see how, check with your grocery stores to see if they would order in by the case, because in our grocery stores, even locally, and still it's very expensive locally, but I can do an hour or two from here too. I have certain stores that I have their numbers on speed dial, and I know their item numbers and everything, and I just call them and tell them I need this, and in 2 days they have it, and we make a trip up there because we already had it planned and work it all out, and I can get it so much cheaper. But you can get like 10% off of a case price or 20% off of a case price. So, you learn to become very frugal, and you also learn that when you're purchasing in bulk and you're purchasing the raw ingredients, of course, that's going to last a lot longer. So although it's pricier, it has greater longevity, and you can make so much more with, your flours and your different ingredients than you could just from a box mix or so forth. So yes, it is expensive, but it is definitely an investment in our health and in our futures. Let me see here. Okay, Toyka says elk had been hunted to extinction for 1,000 years in UK, reintroduced in Scotland in 2007. Huh, interesting. That's crazy. Carol says lamb is here too. It's my favorite. I remember you saying that before. I'm gonna have to get some kind of lamb and try it. because it's been so long. I was a young kid in elementary school when I last had it. Deb says, feeding my 17-year-old son is the same. Eats me out of house and home. Loves everything I fix. Yeah, I hear that. And when we had, it's funny when you hear me say that, if we have the guest cabin built this size, they'll come and they won't want to leave. We've had people that have come and it was really awesome. Trust me. But we built our cabin and somebody stayed in it for 3 years. And then when he left, someone stayed in it for 2 years. And then when we first arrived down there, we arrived in May. Our first guest came in August and stayed for, was it 2 weeks or a month that time? I can't remember. And then once we got in the house and out of the tent, we had progressive guests for 3 years straight. And there was only like a 6-week period in between in those 3 years that we didn't have guests. It was crazy. Everybody wanted to see how we were living and experience it and help us and do different things. So that was pretty cool. And I say that because I'm actually backtracking and remembering why I said it. Because feeding these guys that all eat, oh my goodness. If you would see what Glenn eats on his plate, you would just be in awe. I know you would. I've never seen anybody eat like he does. And then, of course, as the Mountain Boy grew, he was eating the same way. And we have Mountain Ben and Mountain Jonathan and Mountain Christopher. They all eat the same way. So it's awesome though. I love feeding people. My grandmother used to, that was the greatest highlight, was to be able to feed people. We left my grandmother's house and you hurt every time you left there because she was forcing food down your throat, but she loved to feed people. Carol says, at least when you get your animals, you know what they are eating, so it will be safe for you guys when you eat them. Yeah, exactly. We really have to be careful. My body is just so stinking sensitive. It's insane. Let me see here. Jane says, oh, yes, I have to serve a salad with it, too. He's 6'2", 180 metabolism of a track star. Yep. Deb's, yes. We fostered teen boys. All were in sports, ate big. Milk was 8 gallons a week. Wow. Yep, exactly. These guys know how to eat, which is good. And it's also a good reflection to know that they like what you're cooking. So that's awesome stuff. Toyka says, used to be you could only find rice bread. Oh, I know. Best toasted twice to give it flavor and to eliminate the terrible cardboard taste that it had. It was awful, even toasted twice. Charcoal toast, not so good. Yeah, no. It was terrible. It was weird. You'd pull it out and you could plop it down. It almost was like it would bounce. Yeah, it was really bad stuff. That was part why, for Austin, wheat and dairy is in everything as a filler. So, the night he went on that diet, we went to the grocery store and I was looking at the packages of everything and just in awe. I could not find anything in the store that did not have it in as a filler. So I was like, wow. So I was thrown into having to figure it out because there weren't options. And that loaf of bread was like $8. It was insane. It's not near as expensive today, and there's a heck of a lot more options, but it's still pricey. That's why I like to make my own. My son is 28 now. He still comes to my house, gets my mixing bowl out, gets a whole box of Cocoa Pops and 2 pints of milk and stuffs the lot waiting for his roast dinner. That's so funny. Yep, these guys know how to eat. Exactly. Tammy says, if you live near Amish, you might barter rides for produce. We did that in Missouri, got lots of good stuff. Yes, and you know what? Amish and Mennonite stores are a great place to be able to stock up on raw ingredients. Their prices are amazing, and they eat healthy and sell healthy things, so absolutely. Yeah, Jane, isn't that funny? Yep. Tammy says, Carol sounds like my son-in-law. Oh, that's so funny. Shelly says, I am gluten-free but allergic to sunflower, so most gluten-free prepared breads I cannot eat due to the sunflower. And that's because of the oil they're using, right, Shelly? Yeah, so It's very difficult, but when you learn to make your own, it is so nice. So it is really not difficult. It doesn't take long. And honestly, breads are my favorite thing. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like hanging wash, but when you're kneading your dough, I just love that. I love that. I love baking my own breads. I love the smell of breads. I like making good Italian loaf that's got the hard outer crunchy and the inside soft and moist and ready to be slathered with butter. So yes. Shelley says, I am wheat and dairy free also, plus no sunflower, lettuce, spinach, bay leaves, star anise, fenugreek, and feverfew. Wow, no kidding. Yeah, I knew you were limited, but wow, that's a lot. And spinach I have to be careful with because of the, here's a fill in the blank. It's not going to come to me. Anaphylaxis is what can be caused, I get, from spinach because it has too much of something in it. I'll think of it. But it has a natural form of it in it. Anyway, I love watching and reading about the Amish. I find them fascinating. They are. Shelley and I think Tammy reads some of her books too, but Shelley shared the author. Met a loss again. But yeah, and we lived in Amish country. We had a lot of Amish friends. I had some Amish clients too. So, and they, you know, I get how they live. I get why they enjoy it. And we're right there with them. Oh, I thought it was an eagle flying. Sorry. Jane says the prices seem to be getting better as more and more people are seeking healthier, and the farmers markets are great, but we only have them in the season. Yeah. Yeah, you do have that one nice one up there. We have one here. It's small, and it's so pricey. And we could go either up toward Jane or down south an hour. And there's options, but they're so pricey. And even a local lady here, I had contacted her, and I couldn't believe how much she was going to charge me for a pound, even if I came and picked my own. So I was like, oh, sorry. I just couldn't afford it that year. So, you know, our options are very limited. So being able to provide for ourselves is so important. Sunflower is also added to most non-dairy milks. Interesting. And are you talking oil, Shelley, or the ground sunflower? That's interesting. I never realized that. And it's crazy. You know, you learn as you have to siphon through the foods to figure things out. Because I can't do anything that has natural flavorings in it because they put MSG in it. And I flare. I mean, my face is flaring right now. You can see it getting redder as we go. But it's instantaneous. And my eyes swell up. I mean, if you go to my Facebook page, it's I had shared it years ago, but it's one of my prominent pictures that always shows up as my face in full flare where I was totally swelled up. It's crazy. It's crazy what foods can do. We'll have to meet at one this coming season. That would be awesome, Jane. I would love that. I would love that. Oh, okay. So Shelley says it's sunflower lectin. Interesting. I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, I mean, so you are really limited, and you keep looking for that piece of land. I think that's a great idea, because then you can get goats and have your own milk, or a milk cow, and you can grow some of your different berries that you need for milling. So Carol says, if you buy in bulk, as in sacks of flour, how do you store it and how long does it last? We go through it pretty quick. But I store it in a variety of different ways. I store it in food-safe buckets once they're open. And when they are in the sack, I store them in Rubbermaid totes so that nothing can get into them. And I keep inventory and rotate everything out so that I'm using the oldest first so that nothing spoils on me because of the expense. And I'll buy so much flour, and then from there I will buy wheat berries. So I will have the flour on hand, but then I will have berries. I have a lot of oats. I have sorghum. I have quinoa. I have all those different raw grains. And then if I'd run out of flour, I can start milling those as well. So that's what we'll really go into next week, is the different ways to preserve your food and to keep your food good for longer periods of time. But being able to have it on hand and to buy it in bulk is huge. And it took us a season really to figure out kind of what our needs were. And then when I added the extra mouths to feed, that certainly bumped it up. But when you have a good idea of, I try to go and suggest to people to go for a 6-month stretch or for a year to figure out how much flour you need to get you through a year's worth of time. You figure my breads that I make him require 6.5 cups every week to make him bread. My breads are either 1.5 cups, depending if I'm doing an almond loaf, or like 3.5 cups of the jovial or one of my blended flours. So you have to kind of break it down and take a season to figure out how much you're going to need and what you're going to go through. The other thing is learning what you enjoy having, so you know what to have on hand so you can make those things that you enjoy the most. And I'm always making new recipes. So I typically, it's very unusual that I don't have a raw ingredient available on hand unless I'm making something really unique. But typically I have everything I need on hand to make any kind of dessert, any kind of bread. Right now I don't have rye flour. Actually, maybe I do. I have to go inventory. That's one of my projects upcoming, is getting in my container and re-inventorying everything, rolling things. In other words, getting my older stuff ahead of the newer stuff, and just getting things in order since we moved. I had everything really well organized in the Mountain Boys trailer, and then we got a mouse in there, and I had taken 2 whole days and wiped the mouse turds and pee off of all that stuff and put it in there. It was nice and clean, and the stinking mouse got in there and did it all over again. So I got to clean it all off again and just re-inventory and rearrange things because things kind of got shoved. But let me see what other comments you guys are making here. Jane says, I hate it too that they use 100 different names to hide MSG and sugars. I know, it's terrible. And the fact that the FDA allowed them to just use natural flavorings and just shove all kinds of junk in it. So I don't if it says natural flavorings, I don't even risk it. I can't. Yes, exactly. That's one of my major go-tos. Try Azure for bulk, natural and organic. Yes. So if you go to TrayerWilderness.com/Azure Standard, it's AZURE and then standard, STANDARD. You'll find what Jane is talking about. There's a couple other food things that are available locally here, and off the top of my head, they're not coming to me, but it's basically a local thing. But if you check in with your counties, and some of the churches do things periodically, which I have found to be very awesome. We participated in the one, not last summer, but the summer before, and a lot of what they brought in was organic. They had these excess food being brought in from different places and available to the community as a whole. And it was pretty awesome. Got lots of different fruits and vegetables, and they brought in breads, and a lot of that was organic and non-GMO breads. But and I know it's pricey, but when you can, Carol, there's certain things that you can eliminate in your diet and replace. It's kind of like getting rid of the nastiest things first. So it's like a progressive thing. And when you get rid of those nastier things first, you'll already start feeling better. And then you can start bringing in some of the other things as you can afford to. It's just like for the mountain man. If he's on the road, I won't touch anything. I have found that it's better for me to starve myself for a day and fast than it is to try to eat something out on the road and take that chance, because I'll pay for it for 4 to 7 days. It's just not worth it. For him, he will take the lesser of the two evils. If he's got choices, he'll pick the one that's better than the other, so sometimes that you're in that position, and the Mountain Boy's in that position right now, and it's really cool though. They have a lot of food banks that come in and bring things to the school because of these kids being on the missionary journey that they are. The food banks and the churches have been doing that a lot through his time there. And it's funny, he'll go there and he's like, well, I got this and this. He goes, those aren't the best, but I was able to get organic this, and I was able to find this that's non-GMO. And so he's really conscious of it. It's really awesome, and I'm really happy about that. So, you train them, and they pick up from there, so it's pretty cool. But it is really important that we start progressing to make an effort to fine-tune our intake, because it does play such a huge, huge role in so much of our makeup, our well-being, our day-to-day, our functioning, everything. So let me see here. Shelley says in Canada there are different companies that are similar to Azure. Awesome. You know what, Shelley, when you have time, would you share those with me? I would like to look into them. We've been connecting with a lot of people from Canada and have a lot of people from Canada joining us. So I'm kind of curious to see. And also some of those places will ship to the States. So it's always nice to see what the options are. Plus, for example, Miss Carol has really good chocolates available to her. Those in Germany also do. And there's a couple other countries that make really good, really fine chocolates. Chocolates like you've never had in the States, I promise you. But their chocolates are healthy. They are, all organic, and you can find them in the health food store. Some of them. But the real good stuff comes from these other countries. And I'll tell you what, you will not find finer chocolates. Our friend from Germany, Gudrun and George, share their chocolates with us that they get from their friend over there. Werner would come and visit, and he would bring some too, and it's just out of this world. Shelley says, I do not eat very many things that are prepared or eat out. Last time I felt very bad. Yeah, I can't tell you the last time we've eaten out. I can't. If we go somewhere and the only option I have is a salad, I will do salad with a little bit of salt. That's it. I don't even chance their oils, because their oils, typically oils are your worst thing. Deb says, love is your standard for over 13 years now. Yeah, it's such cool stuff. Jane says Ecuador too. Now we know why Jane is going to Ecuador. It's not the temperatures, it's the chocolate. Oh, man. My melon really hurts today. Goodness. All right. I wanted to share this one quote that my friend Katie Wells, the Wellness Mama, she shared this yesterday in her newsletter, and I thought it was I like it. I like it a lot. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills. It's a Chinese proverb. So I'll read it again since I was flubbing around there. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills. So which would you build? Windmill. Sometimes you need walls, but tap into that, those winds of change. That's how I look at it. Let me see here. Jane can send us all food parcels. There we go. I like it. Oh, that's right, Shelley. You don't have the salad option. Wow. Yeah, I guess not. I'm even afraid to drink water. When I'm in the city, at worst, I would ask for a cup of hot tea, because then it's at least boiled. But I'm even afraid to do the water. Like right now, I think I shared that the other day when we're doing our water. If we would get water locally, because we could take our 55-gallon drums and that to town and pay $25 a month and be able to fill whatever we need with water. I could not drink it. I can't even smell it. It's that bad. So, because of the Clorox smell. The Clorox makes me instantaneously flare also. So, when you have sensitivities, it makes it tough. That's why, you know, I learned to carry certain things with me. One of the things, like my soup last night that I made, the vegetables that I did in there were freeze-dried vegetables. I added green beans and kale, peas, some onions. What else did I add? Oh, and some jalapenos. Anyway, so I added some of those. Those are something that I can carry with me. I love the broccoli and I love the cauliflower, and I'll just take a baggie of that with me when we go somewhere. Or I'll take I have different protein bars and snack bars that I can take with me when I know we're going somewhere. And I also fill like 3 of my water jugs. You know, I have this one and I have the copper one, and I'll fill them all up, and sometimes take a gallon jug of water with, just so that I, you know, don't have to stop and buy something. Because the only place I can buy stuff is the health food store. And I shouldn't say that, you know, like a Walmart and that, they do have non-GMO stuff. But the point is that often when we go somewhere, we don't want to spend money. We just want to go get what we need and come home. So you learn to take stuff with you. Jane says every month tuna and chocolate. Oh, that would be wonderful. You know, I had said last week, I think it was, about us, our dream was Alaska. And to be able to get the steelhead salmon and to be able to fish, and then, you know, to be able to take a trip to the coastal area and be able to shrimp and crab and that. I love seafood. I absolutely love seafood. And it's so nice to be able to get fresh. That's the other thing you got to watch is, you know, being able to get wild caught versus farm raised, because the farm raised has tons of toxicity in it. So, you know, you got to look at all your labels, and it is a bear, you know, and you do hear it a lot, I'm sure, Carol, you know, but it truly is an investment in your health. And for many of us, you know, that investment is truly worth it because of the terrible side effects and the repercussions from, you know, the foods that are out there. There's so many toxins in everything that's out on the shelves. It's terrible. It really, really is terrible. And it is terrible that the better foods are that pricey. But, you know, you do need to be careful. So how many of you are going to build walls, or how many are going to build windmills when the winds of change come? Shelly says, I only drink water from home. I even take water to work with me. It does have some bleach, but nothing else. Yeah, you know, because you don't know. You really don't know what's in the waters. There's fluoride, there's Clorox, there's all kinds of stuff. Oh, yum. I know. I knew he was out in the water. That's awesome. Shelly says, Jim shucks oysters for a living. Oysters are one thing that I never really enjoyed a whole lot. Clams, yes, but not oysters. But I love seafood. Scallop, too, are another really good one. Man, I'm making myself seafood hungry. When will we start getting animals? It kind of depends how things go here. If things kind of don't get too crazy too fast, there's some things we would like to do first before being strapped down and committed to animals. If things continue the way they are, we will probably get animals right away. And we've also been looking at different ways we can make a living off of our land. This is kind of funny. I don't know if I shared this or not. We do a lot of pine nettle tea. I think I shared that the other week in a video that I was making salad dressing and some facial stuff with the pine needles. But one of the things that we saw, well, when I was looking it up, I was looking up the pine needle recipes for the, just to see what was out there for the salad dressings, because my one friend has a really good recipe. Anyway, I found somebody sharing the tea recipe, and someone left a comment that said that she didn't have pine trees near her. Where could she get source? Where could she find a good source for pine needles? I'm like, there you go, Jane. There you go. I said to Glenn, I said, we can be pine needle growers and sell our pine needles for tea. And truly, it's not a bad idea. I mean, you see what I'm surrounded by? Just be really funny. Jane said, grow marijuana. It's illegal in Idaho. Tammy says, we gifted Benjamin and Alexa a Berkey because they are on city water. Oh, that's really awesome of you. Yeah, that city water creeps me out. There's a lot that creeps me out in this world today, food and water wise. And for baskets, yes. Did you ever see the basket that I made? I have to dig that out. The ponderosa pines are really great to make pine needle baskets, and we have them around us too. So November, I got to forage a bunch more needles because I'm running low. But yes, baskets. The Indians used to use those to make baskets that were actually watertight. So I want to learn how to do that. That's without coating it with sap or anything. They just wove them that tightly. So it's pretty cool. Shelley says some of the benefits is that scallops are also caught or grow on the lines. So we have feasts of scallops and oh, that right there. That's yummy stuff. Yes. That's a good treat, Shelley. That is a very good treat. Jane says natural dyed needles. Yes. Yes. And Jane says, I'm taking a class soon on basket making, beeswax coating. Ah, very cool. Yeah, I absolutely love making the pine needle baskets. It's very relaxing and very easy to do. One of the things I would like to make, I made a round one for Glenn with an antler handle. I'd like to make a bread basket with the pine needles. I just need to get settled in. We need to get our classes live and get some normalcy going on here as much as we can. You know how that goes. But we've just been kind of shot out of a cannon. We got under roof, and now we got to get things going because, you know, everybody needs to make a living somehow. So it's been a little crazy here, and it's been a little stressful, but at the same time, it's really awesome because we have the view and we have this beautiful place. So it's all part of it. But yes, so when we get things settled down, this time of year is usually my time of year to be able to do those kind of things, to be able to knit and to make my jewelry, which I'm actually going to start because I have gotten several orders for these bad boys just from wearing them. So I'm going to start getting my antlers cut up so I can do some Dremel work on them and also hollow them out and do things like this. But I also have a necklace with a heart on it that I Dremeled. So let me see here. Toika says, oh, scallops and bacon, me melting in chair. Yes, how about it? You and me with the bacon. Oh, yes. Oh, this is a bad one today. I have made oyster chowder a few times. That I could probably do, and I like clam chowder. But this Carol just nailed it. Scallops, bacon, and Brussels sprouts. Yes. That would be like the ultimate meal. Deb makes a really good bacon and Brussels sprout casserole. Nice. Very, very nice. Oh, so funny. Yes, Carol, we went to food. We were talking about dry ingredients, but now it's heavy into food. Okay, so I wanna read something for you guys. Also, put that on the skewer. Nice, nice, nice. We need to pray for Miss Robin. Miss Robin is back home after 9 days in the hospital, but she sounds like she's doing pretty well. She is blessed by people from her church taking care of her and her friends, taking care of the house, and and also taking care of her. So that's really, really awesome. And God bless her. You know, she's taken the time while in the hospital to message in the community and update me and let me know how she's doing. I don't have her cell phone number, so I was very grateful for that because she was really heavy on my mind. And please keep Terry and June in your prayers. Nicole hasn't been on here, and Kaden and Kayla didn't join last Friday, so I hope Audrey is doing okay. And if you could keep my friend Courtney and Evan in your prayers. Courtney's sister is dying of cancer right now also. And my friend Pat and his wife Nancy. And I know there's someone else I'm forgetting. Let me see here. Ooh, easy, missus. Take the stairs out. Yes, Carol, it's 8 p.m. there. I know, and you're starving. I know. I'll send you a piece of my bread for a bissie, and I got my cup of tea. To you, Miss Carol. Sorry we're tormenting you. Does anyone have a recipe for clam chowder without any dairy? I would just supplement the dairy that's used with either an oat milk, hemp milk, or what's the other thick one? Soy is thick, but I don't go for the soy. But oatmeal and hemp milk are a little heavier. Like rice milk is really thin, so I would supplement those when I'd make it, because that's what we do. And then add a little bit of flour. Carol says sending lots of love to Robin. Yes, she's so sweet. Toika says, oh, Carol, grab one of your biscuits. Please, Deb says, please pray for me in hearing God's direction right now with some major decisions and directions. You got it. You've been heavy on my mind, and you've been busy, so I need to connect with you. Keep Kelly in your prayers too. I haven't heard from her this week, but just keep Kelly in your prayers. So we will keep Deb in our prayers, and absolutely. Wait till you hear today's reading, Deb. You're just gonna laugh. Shelly says use coconut milk instead of dairy. Yeah, coconut's a good one too. Just make sure you get the kind that doesn't say vanilla, because and you can get the unsweetened versions of things. I don't like the sweetened stuff. I don't want their sugar in my milk. I also have coconut milk powder, which reminds me I have that on my list to get out of the container today, because I want to make some hot chocolate mix. I've eaten them, and Lorenzo ate my spare cookies. Oh, I would love to see his little chubby cheeks. He is so darn cute. Her little guy is way, way cute. And her grandmother, she shared a picture of her grandmother. I'm going to have to pull it and put it in the community page. Oh my goodness. Her grandmother, she's not kidding. She doesn't look a day over 75. It's crazy. She's like timeless. For those of you that didn't miss that, Carol shared that her grandmother turned 101 the other day. That was on Tuesday, I think. And she's Spitfire. The apple didn't fall far from the tree for Carol. She's a Spitfire too. Let me see here. Yeah, no soy. Yuck. Oat may work. I hadn't remembered that. Yeah. Rice is your thinnest milk, and it doesn't work good for soups and stuff. But the thicker coconut, oat, hemp, those work real good. Deb, you will be fine. Just breathe and clear your head. Amen. Amen. And Jane says, Deb, you got it. We'll be praying for you, Deb. Toika shares. Hey, Mama T. Prayers for all, especially for you, Deb. Very awesome. Very awesome. Tammy says oat milk is quite good. My grandsons drink it. Yeah, I like it a lot. We've done that already too, Toika. Yeah, vanilla mashed potatoes, not so good. Yeah, the mountain man has a tendency to grab the vanilla when there's 2 boxes in there. We've had vanilla mashed potatoes a couple times. They're all right. With all the butter we put in them and all the seasonings, the vanilla gets squashed out there pretty quick. Yeah, that sounds really good. Jane says, add a dash of cayenne to your cocoa mix. That and pepper, because the black pepper will bring out the chocolate. So, good idea. I need to do something. I think I'm going to take a nap today. My eyeballs are just feeling like they're like right at the screen. But we're doing this. I'm not going to just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. That's not my nature. So I will leave a video message for you on Messenger. Okay, that'd be awesome. Yes, please do that. Okay, yes. Deb, we got your back, sister. You got this. You got this. And I'll see you tonight at Bible study. We'll definitely lift you up there too. And I want to share this. Carol made a comment the other day, and it was a good comment to make. It was the day we were talking to Rex. It was last Thursday. And I imagine there might be others that feel this way. So I wanted to put this out there. And I'm not calling you out, Carol. It's all good. She made a comment about the Bible study, that she hasn't joined us in the Bible study yet because she doesn't feel she's at that level yet. I want you guys to know that our Bible study, any Bible study, don't ever feel like you need to be at a certain level with your relationship with God to be a part of a Bible study. Because the whole point of a Bible study is to grow you closer to God. Now, with our Bible study, we're not actually delving in yet to specific books in the Bible and just covering those. What we've been doing, and that's why it's called a Bible study book club. because we're going to do both. And what we started out with is with foundational things. I started out with the things that I feel are the most essential in a Christian's walk. And that is prayer. That was our first book we did with Fervent by Priscilla Shirer. And the second book that we're working on right now, we're finishing it up tonight, is When You've Been Wronged, Turning Bitterness to Forgiveness. That is by Erwin Lutzer. That is a fabulous book, both of them. And those are your foundational starters. You need to have a good prayer life with God, and you need to step past unforgiveness, because unforgiveness will leave you in a place of bitterness and nastiness and a terrible place that will just keep sucking you down, and you will never move forward in your life, let alone in your Christian walk. So those two were very powerful starts, and that's what I feel is foundational. And then we are moving on to next week. We will be starting our new book, which I haven't updated the page, but I will be later today. We Will Not Be Silenced, another one by Erwin Lutzer, which is really talking about our current times. So I just wanted to put it out there. Don't feel like, if you feel that your relationship with God is just new and you're just starting, and you for some reason don't feel like you're at our level was attained by constant walk with him. And you would be a perfect fit and would fit in really well with us. We have our Bible study is no different than here. It's very welcoming. It's very personal, and it's really, really awesome. So if you're interested in joining a Bible study or want to be with a group of people that will help you enhance your walk with Jesus and help you to understand the Bible better, you can join us by going to TrayerWilderness.com/Bible Study Book Club. We would love to have you. I just wanted to put that out there because some people, I know others may feel the same as Carol, and I don't want anybody to feel intimidated or concerned about joining. And the other thing is, you're not committed. If you don't like it, you can cancel anytime. But I definitely wanted to put it out there. Oh, awesome. Tammy said the Bible study is awesome. Yeah, we have a really, really good time. And I'm so glad. I, like others, have gone to Bible studies before. And it's so difficult when you have to leave, especially for me. I hate leaving. You know that. I don't like leaving here. So if I have to leave and go somewhere, plus, going to church would make me flare, and going to other places can make me flare because of the different, people wearing perfumes and different things. So I like being home, and being able to do this from the comforts of our home has made it so awesome to not have to hustle out. And because a lot of us with our commitments in life, it would have been very difficult to physically go somewhere. So this has made it a really awesome option for all of us. So we would love to have more of you join us. You're welcome. I just wanted to put that out there. And Carol, I wasn't putting you on the spot, but it was because of what you said that it made me want to say that to others as well. I'm even sending you giant hugs and love to you, Deb. There you go. Very well shared, Tammy, about our Bible book study, and how all are welcomed and can be valuable. Oh, for sure. For sure. We all need loving, and that's what it's about. And it's also growing in each other, growing in God, and learning from one another. It's absolutely awesome. So we would love to have more of you joining us, and I just wanted to put it out there. Also, the Kids Corner is tomorrow at 2:30 Pacific Standard Time. And you can go to TrayerWilderness.com/Kids Corner to sign up for that. The Bible study is tonight at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And you can go to TrayerWilderness.com/Bible Study Book Club to sign up, and then you will be emailed the information where you join to Zoom with us. So we would love to have you, Jane. That would be awesome. Good deal. Carol says, absolutely fine, honey. Thank you. Yes. And Carol, you would be absolutely welcome. It's a good time. And it's a really, God's very present. Let's just put it that way. Toika said, it's always good to have different levels of knowledge. The other thing is that the same scripture can have deeper and different meaning depending where you are on your walk with God. Absolutely. Well, and one of the things that we shared with the book Wronged, I read that in a time when my life, I just didn't think I could take any more. I couldn't handle any more. And I told you, it came across my desk through the mail. I'm in one of their mailers, and I saw that, and I knew the Holy Spirit was telling me I needed to get that. And I got it, and I read it, and it was really awesome, because when I hit the point in the book that was regarding what I was dealing with, I got very angry. I felt emotion, a lot of emotion. And the book worked me through it, helped me through it, progressed me through it, because I know I've had to forgive a lot of people in my life. And I learned early that forgiveness was absolutely essential. But sometimes you don't realize you're even stuck in that place. And when you read this book, it calls you out. Well, I read it multiple times since, and it's funny that that chapter never resonated with me again, because I had walked myself through that trauma. Because when you're wronged, it is a trauma. It's a hard thing to walk through, but we aren't freeing the other person. We're freeing ourselves and giving ourselves the freedom to grow and to be with God, and to also move into our futures and what he's calling us to do. So it's pretty awesome. So, they're essential. Those are heavily essential stepping stones in a Christian walk. And it is neat to see what resonates in the chapters as we're reading, and the different things that different people are drawn to. And it's been really deep, and it's been there's been a lot of growth, just not only in God and in what we're reading, but with the group. It's really cool. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, girl, Tammy's got to run. Boys are here. Praying for you all. I will see you later. Love you, girl. Praying for you too. Oh, that'd be awesome, Jane. That would be very awesome to have you join us next week. So the book we are reading, you can find by going to TryYourWilderness.com/We Will Not Be Silenced. Great book. Great book. It's very fitting for our times. Yeah, your hubby can join too. That would be awesome. That would be very awesome. Jane, good timing. Get the next book. We will not be silenced, and you will be ready. Exactly. Yes. So it'll be good. It'll be really good. I want to read these things to you quick so you guys can get back to your day. But Deb, you're going to love this. Okay. The Ticking Watch. Psalms 37:7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. A group of workers were cutting ice out of a frozen lake and storing it in an ice house. When one of them realized he'd lost his watch in the windowless building, he and his friends searched it in vain. After they gave up, a young boy who'd seen them exit went into the building, and soon he emerged with the watch. Asked how he'd found it, he replied, I just sat down and kept quiet, and soon I could hear it ticking. The Bible talks much about the value of being still. And no wonder, for God sometimes speaks in a whisper. That's 1 Kings 19:12 if you want to look it up. In the busyness of life, it can be hard to hear him. But if we stop rushing about and spend some quiet time with him and the scriptures, we may hear his gentle voice in our thoughts. Psalms 37:1-7 assures us that we can trust God to rescue us from the wicked schemes of evil people, give us refuge, and help us stay faithful. But how can we do this when turmoil is all around us? Verse 7 suggests, be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. We could start by learning to keep silent for a few minutes after prayer, or by quietly reading the Bible and letting the words soak into our hearts. And then perhaps we'll hear his wisdom speaking to us quiet and steady as a ticking watch. So it asks, how can you be still before God each day? What will help you stay silent and listen? I have a question for you guys. How often when you spend time with God and you start praying, does your mind go whew, whew, and you have to keep drawing it back in? In Jesus Calling, there's a great one on that where it says how God has such a sense of humor and finds it humorous when we do that. But if we keep coming back when our brain starts flying away, it forms that habit to stay. And how often when you're sitting doing your devotions, or you're writing in your journal, or you're reading your Bible, all of a sudden you think of something and you have this urgency to just put everything down and go do that. that's our society, and that's what our society is creating. And that's where we need to sever from that calling of society and be in that still quiet place. I'm telling you guys, in that still quiet place, there is so much to be gained. That's why I like walking out here so much and just escaping. The other night, oh my goodness, I did do a little video. I'm going to put that live on our YouTube channel. It was just utopia for me. And I wish the mountain man had been feeling better, because I know he would have enjoyed it too. He wanted to make me happy instead of staying here, so he went along. But he would have been better just staying. I'm totally good with that. I don't care if there's wolves, mountain lions, or whatever out there. What I gain from being out there is so powerful. And then to have our fire afterwards was just wonderful. But being out and just seeing God's presence surrounding me, and that still quiet, with the exception of having to scold a dog here and there, is just amazing. And I want to just encourage you guys to take that still quiet time. And don't be annoyed or alarmed when your brain does start going, because if you do any type of meditation and you start learning to do meditation, your brain does the same thing then as well. And it's the way our brains are made up. It's what society has created, and we need to just keep honing it back in. And the more we do that, the more wholesome our thought process is, that we can kind of control it. But really, being in that still quiet place is where God does his magic. But here's another one for you, and I wanted to share this one too. Jephthah was a mighty man of valor, but he was the son of a harlot. That's from Judges 11:1. And Jephthah was the illegitimate son of a man called Gilead. His mother was a prostitute. He grew up in the household of Gilead's other legitimate sons, who later chased him away. You will not get any of our father's inheritance, they said. So he ended up living in a cave, and while there he took a band of misfits and rebels and developed them into a great army. When the Ammonites threatened Israel, the elders turned to him for help. But Jephthah said to them, "Aren't you the ones who hated me and drove me from my father's house? Why do you come to me now when you're in trouble?" "Because we need you," the elders replied. "If you lead us in battle against the Ammonites, we will make you ruler over all of the people of Gilead." Not only did Jephthah lead them to victory, he's named with honor in the Bible along with people like Abram, Moses, and David. His life is rich with lessons. Here is an important one. Rejection can be part of God's plan for your life. Jephthah was rejected for reasons beyond his control. He was illegitimate. But instead of growing bitter, he moved on and did something good with his life. Perhaps you've been rejected because you were old, young, intelligent, not intelligent enough, pretty, privileged, poor, attractive, unattractive, male, female, white, black, etc. By God's grace, Jephthah took an ugly situation and turned it into a beautiful one. And if you'll turn your situation over to God today, the same grace is available to you. And I thought that was really awesome, because we all have different walks. We learn, in our Bible study, we've learned, some of the different struggles that each of us has had to walk out. And I've said this before, sometimes sharing our story and how God has worked in our lives might be the only time another person may hear about the miracles of Jesus and what he does in people's lives. So we do need to share our stories. And when we have a story, so often there's many people that end up in a place of bitterness and sadness and are unable to overcome that negative event or that thing that they're experiencing right now. It's just too burdensome on them, and they don't overcome it, and they stay stagnant in a place where we all have the same option and the same choice to take that situation and turn it around. You so often hear, making lemonade out of lemons, and there's so many different analogies and different terms used. But the thing is, when we can take an unfortunate circumstance, our unusual times right now, and be able to thrive and turn those around, it's pretty awesome stuff. And I think that that goes hand in hand with the ticking watch, because when we are in those unfortunate times and we are in those unusual places, so often we stay in our heads instead of putting things at the feet of Jesus. When you put those things at the feet of Jesus, you have the opportunity to turn it around, and you also gain his strength, and you hear his still small voice giving you guidance and direction. And let me share with you guys, we are no different than all of you. You know, we walk through oddities. You've watched us. If you've been following us for a long time, you've watched us just walk out a 6-year journey. It's been quite something. But we're here on the other side. And now on the other side, we've been shot out of a cannon, and we're getting our businesses back up and running and trying to, you know, make a living from, and again, ours is a unique fashion, but nevertheless, we're, you know, we're pushing hard again. And, you know, you could look at our times and be like, say that we're so disadvantaged because of what's going on. But at the same time, if you change your mindset to see things in a positive light and just focus on what you are capable of doing and what you can do and what you want to do and what your desire to do is, along with God's strength pushing you in that direction, regardless what's going on right now, you can kick it and you can really make good things happen. So I wanted to encourage that today, because I know that many of you are like us and stepping into new things this year. And, you know, Herbert didn't have work for a while. He's been blessed to have work again. You know, so Terry, you know, we all have different things we're going through. But regardless what it is, the same thing applies, is that we have the abilities to turn things around. But we don't have the strength on our own to do that. We need the strength of God to push us forward, to enable us to have the internal strength and the physical strength sometimes, emotional strength, spiritual strength. He's being Superman on the other side of the camera. You gonna do it again? Just for kicks and giggles? Go ahead. There we go. There we go. You know your mama's on here.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, your mama's on here.
Hey, Mama.
So put your stuff at the feet of Jesus. And, hey, could you start that fire for me? Just enough? I didn't have any. T, don't you go blaming me. See? On camera, he's blaming me. I didn't do it. But could you please start the fire? Could you start my fire?
Well, you'll see. Not in front of the children.
Mama says hi, youngin'. Okay. Let me see. Oh, let me see here. Deb says, I can tell I've been really distracted this last week with travels and back to the environment that pushes my buttons. I don't take time with God when I really needed it most. You know, and it's what happens. You know, we get pushed into these like panic modes and these stressful modes. I mean, right now, I'm helping Austin get grants and scholarships and signing him up for the community college and helping him there, and working on his customers, getting their bids out, getting my client work done, writing books, editing videos, getting our academy live, and it's kind of like, ouch. And then my head hurts too. So, you know, we get stuck in those moments, but I've learned to pause. We have to pause. Regardless how crazed and busy we are, we have to take that time and pause and just spend it with God, because the direction we're going to get in that pause is what we need. You know, I know I can't do all that I do on my own. I need God's help, and that's why I pause. But we all do that, Deb. We all do that. I've had to learn to create that habit of taking that extra time and just being still. But it's how it goes. So now you know why you're feeling the way you do, and you know, just redirecting it, turning it around, putting it at the feet of Jesus, and letting him re-empower you and strengthen you. So that's what it's all about.
I just lit your fire.
Thank you for lighting my fire. Oh, Thanks for the prayers all, and Mama Treyer also. My heart and soul are feeling them, and a smile from the mountain man. You are all awesome. I so needed this today. Thanks. I'll have to listen again. Not only that, we'll build you up tonight. It's all good. It's all good. What?
Who that?
Deb.
Smile from the mountain man.
Either that you were lighting my fire or that you were taking off like Superman, I imagine. One or the other, or both, right? You never know what you're going to get. I'm going to spin it around again. You're liable to catch him doing something else. This morning he was quoting his favorite childhood book. Go ahead. She's on here. You may as well.
Yeah. Which one?
Either one. Both.
Because there was...
Not only is he Glenn with the orange pencil.
You don't say. I just did say, said Jasper Giraffe. I barely remember the book. But my mom said she used to hide it on me because I wanted her to read it so much when I was little. And she used to hide it. I remember little bits and pieces of it. And then there was Harmon's red shirt, about a farmer with a red shirt. And he'd take a little bit from here and put it over there. And pretty soon he had no shirt hardly. And it was short and...
disheveled.
Yeah, so then at the end of the book he gets a new red shirt.
Deb said you are so fantastic with your memories. Memories. He relives them every day. Every morning I get to hear Jasper Giraffe. It's pretty funny. Oh, she says, I love that book, the red shirt book. See? Yep. So there you go. Now you look puzzled.
Well, you distracted me and made me light your fire. So.
I did make you light my fire.
Not in front of the children. I'm going to be turning the generator on.
Oh, goody. Okay.
I found something. I brainstormed and I might be able to make that knife sander work. I don't know.
See, I told you you'd get it.
I don't know.
Grumpy britches.
Listen, woman.
Oh.
I don't like your fire no more.
Oh, he is hilarious. That's his saving grace, is that he's funny and cute.
I see. Anything else on me?
No.
Yeah, right. No. Yeah, right. Okay.
Oh, well, I'm gonna say a prayer for us because you guys have been on here long with me, but today was a good one. We discussed a lot of different things, and if anybody else needs prayers, please don't hesitate to share them in the comments below, whether watching the live or the replay. We are here to pray for you. We are here to lift you, and we would love to have you join our community. We've created a separate community away from social media to eliminate all the garbage and just to have our freedoms. So you can join us by going to TrayerWilderness.com/community. Easy does it, Stanley.
Don't you yell at me.
I'm going to pray now. Okay? Are you heading out now?
Yes. I gotta go back out.
All right. Are you saying you're... Oh, there we go. Now he's going to be... No, wait. I didn't flip it.
Luke, I am your father. All right.
I'm going to...
Take care, everybody. I got stuff to do. Places to be. Babies to kiss.
Say what?
Wait a minute. No babies to kiss. Alright. See y'all.
Never know what you're going to get when he enters. You never know. That's what makes it so fun. Oh, isn't he funny? You just never know. Oh, exactly. Oh, dear Glenn. Carol says, I love you guys. Mountain Man and my gorgeous floor muffins, or foot muffins. Take care, everyone. I got to put Lorenzo to bed. Giant hugs, you guys. All right, girl. Praying for you. Give him a hug for me. I'm going to say a prayer so you guys can get back to your day. Papa, thank you so much for this day, for your beautiful blessings and your grace in our life. I just ask that you be with Audrey and be with Nicole and Kayla and Kaden. I'm not sure if what's going on there, but just Be with all of them and help them, lift them, let them know that they were loved on and missed. Be with Deb, just lift her up and give her the strength and courage she needs to keep moving forward, and just give her the peace and comfort she needs today. And glad that we could be a light to her today and lift her and just love on her. And just thank you for what you're doing in her life. Thank you for what you're going to do, and thank you for how you're lining everything up. Be with Carol today, and be with Toika. Continue to help her with her pain and eliminate her pain and allow her to move forward with the other surgeries she needs. Be with Robin. Just strengthen her and heal her and allow her to return and join us. And be with all the others out there that are in need of your hand in their life and your love and mercy and grace. Be with Terry and June, and be with Pat and Nancy, and be with Kelly and Mike and Courtney. Be with Tammy and her family with this extreme cold, as well as Kelly. Just help them, Tammy and her family, with the water situation there. And just touch my body today, heal my head pain. And just thank you for allowing us to be able to join in fellowship today. Thank you for your word. Thank you for your promises. Thank you for your love and mercy and grace on all of us. Thank you for the abundance of your presence in our lives and on these live videos. Thank you for what you're doing in each of our lives. Be with Jane also with her MS and her struggles, and be with Toika today with her fibromyalgia, pains, and fog. Totally get that. Thank you for giving me the strength to do this today. I felt the need, and I thank you for nudging me. And just thank you for what you're going to do for all of us. Keep your hand of safety and protection on each of us, and just give us a good rest of our days till we meet again next Thursday. We love you and thank you for your son and all you do for us, and ask all of this in your holy and precious name of Jesus. Okay. I feel like I forgot a prayer, so if I did, I apologize. I'm trying to remember them all, but I will go over to the community immediately and put those in our prayer list and in our continuing growing prayer needs there. Guys, thanks so much. This was a long one, but thanks for joining me, and we will be on again next Thursday. We'll talk about food preparedness, food storage, how to seek out good food at cheaper prices, and how to eliminate the nasties, the most nasty food in your home first, and then be on a progressive journey to focus on healing through food, which can be done. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Love you all. And so glad you guys joined me today. I'll be praying for each of you, and we'll probably see you again this week yet with some short videos. I got to re-record our stairs. Like I said, I deleted some of our videos, so I will have to re-record those. Deb, love you, girl. I'll see you tonight. Amen. Thanks so very much for your blessings through him, and blessings to all today. Yes, we love you, girl. Don't ever be afraid to ask for your prayers here. You know, that's our greatest tool. I've told you over and over again. Our tool in our tool belt of prayer, and praying for each other and loving on each other, is so powerful. We get to sit here firsthand and see all the miracles being worked, and God's hand and the direction that he's guiding everybody is pretty awesome. So guys, have an awesome day. I love you all. I will see you later this week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next Thursday. God bless.